Hi Scorpio, it's Leonore. Hi Scorpions. Welcome to Soul Searching Tarot. I am a Scorpio. Ta-da! Yes, I am. So Scorpio, you are a fixed water sign. There are 4 fixed signs in the zodiac. Leo, the fixed fire sign. Scorpio, the fixed water sign. Aquarius, the fixed air sign. And Taurus, the fixed earth sign. What does that mean, fixed? Well, we are very rigid. So Scorpio is the 8th house. It is ruled by Pluto and it's co-ruled by Mars. It is a very dark and complex placement, planet, sign. It rules death, sex, and money. The 8th house rules death, sex, and money. All combined, by the way. It is the house of extremes. And as Scorpions, we will come to some type of battle within ourselves. That is the death and transformation of the 8th house. I think Scorpio has probably more symbols than any other zodiac sign. The stinger, the bad reputation symbol. But it's also misunderstood. Scorpio, you also are associated with the symbol of the serpent. But that has a lot to do with the instinctive side we carry. We're also associated with the ego. It brings us to a higher purpose, wisdom, and then last and not least, the phoenix, the transformation. It's when Scorpions go from low to high spirituality. Scorpios are mysterious. They're intense. They're the hypnotist of the zodiac. And you know what? I don't want to throw any shade on anyone, especially people that know me. But I'm not the small talk type of person. I don't really like to talk about the weather and I like to talk about people's passion, people's problems, people's drama. Let's get into that. Small talk for me is like, I appreciate it. I appreciate that you acknowledged me. And I kind of acknowledged you, because I walk around with my fucking head in the clouds constantly. But I don't know. Just don't like small chat for me is nothing. I was never good at. I don't even when I have sex, I hate fucking talking. Do not talk to me while I'm having sex with you. That's not pertaining to anybody specifically, by the way. Complex Mars and Scorpio placement. It is very powerful. It is. I don't know which is worse. Is it the power or is it the complexity? They are zodiac signs that have 2 planets. Not all, but some. The fact that it's ruled by these 2 planets. So, Pluto, right, rules Scorpio. And it is the dark side of Mars. So Scorpio is ruled by 2 planets. And so we have the planet of the underworld, which is Pluto. And then we have planet of war, which is the co-ruler. So to have this placement in Mars in Scorpio, there's a duality there. It's dark, it's passionate, but it comes with fucking drama. I'm not making that up. And you know what? Truth be told, we like it. But we would never admit it in public. My Uranus in Scorpio, I mean, it is a master placement. I'm not gonna lie, that's Aquarius and Scorpio. And my moon is already in Aquarius. And that could be either through sex, through occults, and psychic abilities. We will sit here and talk about taboos, experience taboo, because you know what? Social acceptance means nothing to us. Oh, you don't accept me for what I do? Fuck you. Oh, you didn't like what I said? Too bad. I don't know how else to say it. I've offended a lot of people. And listen, I swear to you that I don't do it on purpose. I don't like to hurt people's feelings. You know how much I sit here and I apologize. If you watch me constantly, you'll know that I fucking apologize about everything. I apologize about my cursing. Even though it's like 2-3 curses, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't, that's my Pisces ascending. And if it hurts your feelings, then, well, we may say sorry, we may. But it's our belief, it's our perception. So why the hell are we going to apologize about that? Scorpio embodies transformation. I mean, as far as Aquarius in Scorpio placement, it's going to be some type of conscious crisis. But those who were born between 1982, 1983 to 1995, you guys are considered Generation Y. A lot of people may talk shit about you. And when I mean a lot of people, I mean like the generation before you guys. Like 1, 2, 3 generations before you guys, if the third one is even living. They may call you guys lazy, even narcissists. Always into technology or only into technology and that's it, I wouldn't sleep on this generation. They're taking notes. So Pluto stays in a zodiac sign for about 10 to 12 years. Each zodiac sign, more or less. There's something about Generation Y that you guys need to hear. Now, what is Pluto in Libra? Let's talk about Pluto in Libra before I move on to keep moving on to Generation Y, because there's something about Generation Y that you guys need to hear. When Pluto was in Libra, when I was born and Pluto happened to be in Libra. Now, what is Libra? Libra is the relationship zodiac sign, right? It's all about interpersonal relationships. And Pluto in Libra brought relationships that before Pluto in Libra, it wasn't acceptable to marry outside of your ethnicity or race or religion, right? But when Pluto in Libra came, it was all of a sudden acceptable, right? It took some time, but it was acceptable. Eventually it was acceptable. And not that it didn't happen before, but it was acceptable as a society. to marry outside your race, outside your religion, to live with your lover, have babies with no matrimony, and to legally have gays and lesbian couples get married. And that just happened just recently, actually. But as far as them living together, you know, I mean, that was pretty much acceptable. You know, I'm living with my partner. Pluto in Scorpio people have. I mean, it is in its home fucking sign. Remember the lazy people, the narcissist, the only into technology people. And listen, I'm not being mean or anything. I know that I said I could be mean sometimes, but I'm not being mean to Generation Y at all. I have a lot of respect for you because you are the one I'm talking to. You, Generation Y, will influence the next generation to spark some type of evolution. I'm not gonna say revolution, but evolution. And like I said, you guys are taking notes, and you know, there will come a time, you know, that you're gonna get away from the television, away from your iPad, away from your iPhone, or whatever technology there is nowadays. And you're going to seek power within yourself. You're going to have to come to terms with that. You might have come to terms with that already. That the real power is not outside of this, of yourself. It's actually within yourself. And that is going to spark and influence the next generation, which happens to be Pluto in Sagittarius. Those are the babies that were born in the late 1990s to like 2006, 2007, approximately. And what does Pluto in Sag mean? Well, these babies will transform higher learning and the church. They will take on the evolution of crisis consciousness through legacy, through monetary, and through sex. But let's talk about Ryan Reynolds. He has those placements, either Uranus in Scorpio or Pluto in Libra, if not both. Ryan Reynolds, all I have to say is Deadpool. That's all I have to say. I mean, how Aquarius in Scorpio or Pluto in Libra is that? Doesn't that movie, this is two movies actually, there's part 1 and part 2 isn't there? You know, for those who like Ryan Reynolds, I love Ryan Reynolds. I've seen a few of his movies, and he's known for Deadpool, but he's actually a wonderful actor, and plays other roles. But Deadpool, that's pretty unorthodox as a action hero or a villain. I don't know what the fuck he is in that movie. I know he's Deadpool. Leonardo DiCaprio, I mean, Inception, if that's not a Uranus and Scorpio placement movie, and he plays it so well. I had to see that movie twice to see what the fuck was going on. Shutter Island. That's another movie I had to watch like again. Like, wait a minute, did I just miss something? Or some things? But one thing about Leonardo DiCaprio, he is a wonderful advocate of saving our planet. This is the generation before Generation Y. These are the people influencing. These celebrities are influencing you, my people that were born between 1982 and 1995. Whether you know it or not. Penelope Cruz, I love her. Gothica, she was great in Gothica. Halle Berry was in that movie too, and that was a mystery and a half. That was a very scorpionic movie. She also did a movie. She was in a movie called it's a Spanish movie called Volver, means return. She was great in that movie as a single mother. She also played Donatella Versace. I don't know if anybody's an American Horror Story watcher. The producers of American Horror Story wrote and produced the assassination of Gianni Versace. She played Donatella Versace. She was amazing. Amazing. Love her. She's a great actress. Joaquin Phoenix. Now, Joaquin Phoenix is actually recently very known for The Joker that just came out literally this year. I don't know when, but it came out this year. I think just like a month ago. He also played in The Gladiator. He was in The Gladiator. And the one movie that he was known for that really broke him out of like being River Phoenix's little brother was the movie To Die For. I watched that movie many years ago with Nicole Kidman. And at that time he was very young. And he played an amazing role in that movie. Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey did a wonderful movie called The Dallas Buyers Club. Dallas Buyers Club. You should watch it. If you have not watched it, fucking watch it. That's a very scorpionic movie. Uranus and Scorpio to the fullest extent, as well as Pluto in Libra. This man in the movie, his character plays a person that has AIDS. Did not know it. Was, having sex, and then this was like known, this was like actually a true story, and it was known back in the, it was like in the late 70s, 80s, when people were like condoms, like what the fuck is condoms, Protection was not, there was no protection. It was just cocaine, sex, and rock and roll. And so he unfortunately had AIDS, and he came up with a remedy when he met someone in Mexico outside of the United States, an American doctor that was kicked out of the United States for practicing or selling prescription that was not approved by the FDA. Come to find out that these vitamins, these holistic medicine help people that had HIV and AIDS. And so he smuggled it to the United States and helped a lot of people defeat the disease, or not really defeat it, but they could have died a lot sooner if it wasn't for him. He actually won an award for that movie, Matthew McConaughey. Seth MacFarlane, the creator of Family Guy, and P. Diddy, sorry, P. Diddy. P. Diddy, he's a music producer and a record executive, but you know, there's something about P. Diddy that most people may not know about him. But he works for a couple of great charities. One of them, he donates money for inner city youth, I should say. And he donates money for the school to have after school activities or to have computers. And there's a lot of celebrities out there that don't really talk about their charities and when and where they donate their money, you know. They like to be private that way, but also a lot of the times the media don't really say anything about it. They're not interested about what celebrities do for the good. They're interested about what celebrities do for the bad. Because that sells, doesn't it? But you know what? Generation Y is catching up to that shit. Because it starts with you, my men. Not the women. It actually starts with you. Most of these people that I mentioned, these celebrities, are men. Let's move on. Hades is the god of the underworld. I'm going to give you a nice love story. Oh God, I love story. I like love stories with some twist or drama. Let's talk about Hades. The god of the underworld, ruler of Pluto, the collectors of souls. He is the collector of souls. Not to be confused with Satan, by the way. I don't want people to think that Hades and Satan is the same. Not the biblical Satan. This is just Greek mythology, okay? So I'm not going into the Bible. He is still the collector of souls. Yes, that's true. He does punish those who have done evil deeds on this earth. Yes, that's true. But he also rewards those who have done good. Pretty much Hades is Judgment Day. He's also known to be the wealthy one, or the giver of wealth. And there's a reason for that, actually. So Pluto, nobody knows what the fuck Pluto is, right? Is it a planet? Is it a dwarf planet? Like, nobody fucking knows. It's misunderstood. They don't know what to call it. It's ridiculous. The planet itself is made up of ice. There's actually water underneath that ice. And underneath that is rocks. And guess what these rocks are? Gold, diamonds, jewels. So your planet Scorpio does represent other people's money. Now, Hades fell in love with the daughter of Zeus. Zeus is, for those who don't know Greek mythology, is the god of sky and thunder in ancient Greek mythology. His wife, Demeter, the queen of Olympus, Zeus and Demeter had a beautiful daughter. Her name was Persephone. Her father, Zeus, knew that the god of the underworld had an interest in her, but knew that his wife Demeter will never accept this union between the god of the underworld, with her beautiful daughter Persephone. Which, by the way, I have right here. Here she is. Hi, say hi, Persephone. She's the queen of the underworld. In my new mythic tarot, she is considered to be the high priestess. Hades never left the underworld. That's not what he does. Unless the gods were coming together for whatever reason, he never left the underworld. However, he left the underworld for Persephone. And Zeus knew that he had an interest in her, and they devised a plan. And she was tricked and eventually abducted by Hades, who disguised himself. And when she realized that she was in the underworld, well, she was very sad, to say the least. She cried and cried her eyes out. She became despondent, and Hades tried to make her happy. He grew her gardens. And by the way, Hades is also known to be for the fertile soil that nourishes the grains. He's also known for that in Greek mythology. But when Persephone's mother, Demeter, found out her loving daughter, her precious loving daughter, had vanished, she became depressed. She roamed the earth to find her. Meanwhile, her husband, Zeus, knew exactly where she was. When she vanished, it did bring a lot of misery on earth. It brought in famine. All the animals and plants were dying. I mean, she was depressed. That was basically her wrath for her daughter gone missing. The earth became cold and colder. And so now Zeus and Hades had to come up with another plan. So by this time, believe it or not, Persephone had grown fond of Hades. Because he had shown her so much respect and compassion, she saw a side to him that no one had ever seen before. And she fell in love with him. So Hades agreed to the terms of letting his wife go. Yeah, his wife. They got married. That's why she's the queen of the underworld. Now, of course, this made Hades reluctant, you know. He thought that he would never see her again. But as a last gift to his wife, he gives her pomegranate fruit. And there she is, leaving the underworld. There's something about pomegranate fruit that Hades knew but didn't tell his wife. And it's that if you ate it, you will return to the person. And she did, she ate it. And once on earth, her mother was infuriated because she had fallen in love with the god of the underworld. She actually thought her daughter was brainwashed. But she really did end up loving Hades. So to please this queen of Olympus, Zeus decided that they should split the time. And so Persephone will spend half of her time with her mom on Earth, which would be spring and summer, when the land is plentiful. And then the other half, the fall and the winter, with her husband, when the land is dying and going through some transformation. Do you see the correlation there? So Hades and Persephone, eventually they had 3 kids. They produced god babies. But isn't that such a scorpionic love story? Oh, see, don't underestimate a Scorpio, because underneath our icy demeanor, because a lot of people think we're pretty cold, but I mean, we do come from a cold planet. We can be icy. We can send chills up your spine from just looking at you. But underneath that icy demeanor, there is an ocean of creativity. And we don't forget betrayal. We just, like betrayal to us, we are always suspicious. Yes, we are. But, once you pass the test, and yes, it is a test, by the way, we give you our trust. You earn our trust. That's a big thing for Scorpio. If you cross a Scorpio, yeah, they could sting. There's some Scorpios that'll, get vindictive and hold a grudge like forever.